And we welcome you here to this annual STEAM Awards or STEM Awards. And we didn't have it last year because of COVID. And I just want to acknowledge the strong partnership, the relationship that we all have, the city school district, the city, the youth bureau with NYPA, with Lisa and her team and all of the staff at NYPA and all that they do to engage our community and provide opportunities for our children, youth, and families to pursue careers in STEM and STEAM. And they've been a great partner over the many, many years, and we've done some great work together. So this is a continuation of our relationship, and we're just thankful that we can come together and celebrate excellence in STEM and math, science, technology, engineering, art. We have some great friends from the school district partners. This is done in conjunction with the White Plains City School District, and we have building principal Ernie Spatterford from Highlands and Emily Martinez from the high school. I would assume others are coming from Eastview, but today's a day of celebration and success, and so we want to acknowledge Lisa and her team. And I don't see the mayor, but I would open up by giving Lisa Payne Wesley an opportunity to welcome and to greet and to acknowledge her team who's on this virtual Zoom call this evening. So Lisa, thank you and take it away.
Thank you, Frank. As I was introduced, I'm Lisa Payne Wansley, and I'm the Vice President of Environmental Justice with NYPA. It's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of Gil Quinones, who's our CEO, and my environmental justice staff. In particular, I have Natalie Thomas here, I have Alex DeRosa here, and I also have my senior manager, Kyla Mainsa. And this is our 5th annual White Plains Youth Bureau STEM Awards, and it's our 5th year hosting. And usually we have this event in our Jaguar room, and we eat together and we fellowship. So hopefully next year we'll be together again. It's been a rough year, and we've gotten through it all, and I'm very happy to see all of you, although not in person. The White Plains Youth Bureau and NYPA has a strong history together, and this relationship will continue and get stronger in the future. A special thank you and shout out to my friend, Mr. Frank Williams, whose phenomenal leadership has brought NYPA and the Youth Bureau together in this forever partnership. I'm sorry. Tonight, you'll also hear from one of my colleagues, the Senior Vice President, Paul Tartaglia, which I'll come back later to introduce him. A dynamic person, really believes in the power of STEM education and has a wonderful story to tell. So again, I thank you very much for this, and hopefully next year we'll be in the same room together again. Back to you, Frank.
Thank you, Lisa. And one of the notes that Lisa stated is this is a partnership where we're all working together, creating opportunities and pathways for our young people. And who knows better about creating opportunities than both Emily Martinez and also Ernie Spatterford. So the superintendent said he would be delayed, but I'm going to ask them to say a few words about their efforts in terms of education and STEM and STEAM, and also the honorees. But we're going to save that for a little bit. But on behalf of the school district, I'm going to ask both of them to say a few words in their efforts in leading these young people to bright futures. I'm going to start with I want to say the most seasoned in White Plains, and that's Mr. Spatterford, and we'll ask Emily to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Frank. So to start, Dr. Ricca has asked me to extend his apologies for not being here. He's got another previously scheduled engagement, and he really wanted to congratulate all of the honorees, Mr. Chiarello, Mr. Baker, Ms. Benitez, Mr. Silva, and all of the outstanding STEAM youth leaders. And I know how much he appreciates our partnership with the Youth Bureau. So thank you. So this year, the last year and a half really has really spotlighted the importance of technology and ensuring that our kids are technologically savvy. And, we really appreciate your partnership. We've done lots of things over the years, to including, the aeronautics academy that you have, and robotics stuff, and lots of things we've done. And we continue at the schools to work on STEM and STEAM initiatives. And, as we say over and over, the jobs that our students are going to look for, and we don't even know what they are yet. So we really do need to stay at the forefront. And I know our honorees tonight are some of the hardest working and most talented teachers in our district who allow us to do that. So, again, thank you for this opportunity to honor them and to recognize them, and for all that you do for kids. And, I know at the middle school and the high school, we really consider our jobs to be, read the White Plains mission statement, right? We want to provide as many opportunities for our children as we can. So thank you.
Thank you, Ernest, and we appreciate your leadership and your dedication to the children and youth in our community. And kind of the new kid on the block, although he's been here a year almost already, and that is the principal of White Plains High School, Mr. Emerly Martinez. Emerly.
Thank you, Frank, and good evening, everybody. And yes, while I might be the new kid on the block, I'll tell you, 1 year under COVID, I think counts to what is it, dog years, right? So I think I feel like I've been here a long time, and Mr. Spatafor can certainly attest to that from our conversations on a weekly basis of how things are going. I'm so thrilled to be part of this evening. STEAM and STEM are such important fields that continuously grow, and anything that we can do to promote that work and to celebrate the great work that's happening with our staff and our students is worth recognizing. So I'm thrilled to be a part of that. The high school has quite a bit of options for our students to go into the field of STEM. And for us, even though we have quite a few, we're still not done. We are still having those conversations with our teachers and with our coordinators, talking about our curriculum, talking about how we can infuse more of that critical thinking, and that the idea of having students prepared for the unknowns in terms of the technology that's coming our way. We certainly hear a lot of the information that's out there that's coming, even some of the stuff that we're living today through the pandemic, right? Some of the breakthroughs in vaccinations are as a result of that work in STEM. So clearly it is something that's in the forefront, and anything that we can do as a district to encourage our youngsters to pursue their passion and love for STEAM and STEM, that's what it's all about. So thank you again for tonight, and congratulations to all the honorees.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. And I also want to just acknowledge our Youth Bureau staff. Even in the midst of COVID, we've been working online, and we've been having robotics online and math online and technology online. So STEM and STEAM has been going on even in spite of COVID throughout the year. And I want to just give Mr. Ray Tribble and his team a big shout out for their efforts and their work in helping our young people to excel in this particular career path. I'm going to throw this right back at Lisa. She's going to introduce our speaker for this evening, and we look forward to hearing him share with us the importance of STEM and STEAM, and perhaps there's some new technology coming. Every day there's something new going on. Now we know, Paul, that it's not just flying to the moon. There are other planets that people are looking at flying to. So this whole career in STEM and STEAM is just exploding. So I'm going to turn this over to Lisa to introduce and welcome our speaker.
Thank you. Paul Tartaglia is our Senior Vice President of Environmental Health and Safety and Crisis Management Operations. He led NYPA during the pandemic to ensure that we were able to service New York State with electricity. You may wonder, well, what is New York Power Authority? How are they affected by the pandemic? Well, just imagine if every system operator of electricity generation and transmission got sick with COVID. What would happen? It could totally shut down the electric supply in New York State. So it was Paul and his team who really decided how NYPA would work through this and actually decided to sequester employees at the sites. So for weeks on end, people were living at the site away from their families so that we can ensure that they did not get sick so they can keep the electricity flowing in New York. So that's the kind of innovation, that's the kind of forethought that Paul really brings to the table. But in addition, he is a regular down-to-earth guy from Brooklyn who decided to be an engineer and then made it happen. And I once heard him tell a group of students, if I can do this, you can too. So it's with that I want to turn it over to my colleague and friend, Paul Tartaglia, who's our Senior Vice President of Environmental Health and Safety and Crisis Management Operations.
So first of all, Lisa, you're making me blush. Hopefully you can't see it on this video cam here now. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul Tartaglia, Senior Vice President of the Power Authority. I've been with the authority, this is my 30th year I'm finishing up now, and I've been in the engineering field for over 35 years. So that's for those of you who don't know me. Those of you who do know me know I really hate giving these kind of talks. I'm a little, STEAM and STEM. I got the STEAM part, but I really don't have that art stuff. Like I'm not the guy you want singing or acting, or I wish I could even draw a picture freestyle. I need a ruler and a straight edge to do that. I have prepared some talking points, but those of you who know me, I don't stick to talking points. I'm not the guy you want to have on the stage. I'll make PR guys cringe. So again, thanks for having me talking about three of my favorite topics, STEAM and STEM. At one point in my career, they actually called me Captain Steam for a while, running a power plant that was powered with steam. I love the whole sense of community. I'll tell you a little bit about that. And obviously, I believe in the youth. I believe in the youth of this country. I believe in the youth of this county, of the city of White Plains, and you'll hear a little bit more about it. So first of all, congratulations to the faculty and any students who are on. Do we have some students on? I think we do, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So congratulations, what a year. I mean, incredible school year, not knowing what you were going to get when you all went home last year and then managing through this. And also further congratulations to any of those students who will be graduating next month. Congratulations, the next step to a great journey. I almost wish I could be doing it all over again. So I heard there are a few other things we can recognize tonight on our celebration. Just one of the things I'd like to talk about is those of you who supported the COVID Angels and the projects that you guys did with White Plains Youth Bureau and CEWA International, providing opportunity for you guys to help the seniors. I thank you for your service. It really makes a difference. And you don't know the lives that you may have saved by doing some of that work, supporting these youth bureaus. It's I had an old boss who was the president of the Power Authority during 9/11, and he had developed a certain respect for security in our organization. In his retirement speech, he actually, spent a lot of time thanking security folks in our organization, recognizing all the trials and tribulations of the post 9/11 period, and he really said something that I still feel very heartfelt about. The security people really do a good job by nothing happening. You think about it, your job is to make sure nothing happens. And in some ways, that work that you guys did, getting the senior citizens aligned with their COVID shots, just made sure nothing happened. And that's a compliment to go through that. So, hopefully 30 years from now, you'll remember some of the tough times we went through, some of the stresses you guys all had, working home, working remotely, lack of socialization, interruptions of graduation ceremonies. But, at the end of the day, in 30 years, you hold your head up high and celebrate your ability to adapt and overcome. From the COVID front and the stuff that you're doing, sense of community install, we have a lot more in common than you would imagine. Personally, I have over 20 years experience as a volunteer firefighter, a volunteer fire chief up here in northern Westchester. And on top of that, I've gathered a whole bunch of other life experiences through some of the things we're going to talk about that gave me the skill set to succeed both at the Power Authority and the skill set to succeed in managing the pandemic operations. At work, we managed to get almost 2,000 employees vaccinated, to Lisa's point, to ensure that the lights were on. Through the worst days of it, my worst nightmare was we couldn't have people to keep the plants running. Failure to keep the plants running would have been resulted in utter catastrophe for the citizens of the state of New York. And I really, took that responsibility with life and death seriousness. Even in the middle of this at home, I helped my wife set up a shot clinic up here in Yorktown, where we had 600 members of the local community vaccinated. And we even set up a network of volunteer nurses who actually brought shots to senior citizens, people who were infirmed, who couldn't get out, or it was too risky to get them out in the public. So again, I appreciate the work that you guys did to help get that done. Personally, work I've done in the last year and a half, although you would never argue that it's engineering or STEAM work, I really, you'll find it some of the most rewarding work that I've done professionally, and hopefully you guys will find it professionally rewarding. But tonight I really wanted to talk a little bit about community. I understand that's part of the celebration for tonight, the concept of community. Community at home, at work, at school, everything is a true example of community. Because if you would ask a lot of people, what's community, most of their answers are going to be, it's where you live. And, to me, reflecting on it, that's not really quite right what the sense of what community is. You think about it, you think about some of those survival shows, Survivor, those shows that you'll see on the Discovery Channel. Those folks live in the woods and in the jungles, but yet they don't thrive. And, I really think of community as a place where you can grow as a person, where you take care of each other and you thrive. So, good work on you guys helping the city of White Plains thrive, to make it vibrant and the living place that it is. Having spent 30 years in White Plains, like some of your teachers and some of us older guys, I'll tell you, it's really gone through a transformation in the last 30 years, and it's really become a really vibrant and living city. So I have a few challenges for everyone in this virtual room. But to the young people, let's go for a repeat, and it's repeat for other causes that you guys can support, whether it be, at a hospital, at your place of worship, old age home, veterans organizations, and animal shelter, even back in the school system. When you guys leave, you'll still be welcome to come back. I'm sure they'll be happy to have you guys come back and do the same thing I'm doing, talk and share your experiences with folks. When you volunteer, I think it's really important to get to know the people that you're volunteering with, the adults and the people in the room. Learn about them, learn about their life experiences, learn their history, share their stories, share your story, and you'll build the kind of relationships that you may have for a lifetime and beyond. It's a great opportunity for you to network, to find mentors, to find people other than your immediate family to help you along the way. To the adults in the room, yes, us old people, but find a few projects, in the city of White Plains and help facilitate the youth. The underclassmen who are still going, and even help support these people, the students who are graduating right now. Because I look at it, it's not just an investment in the future of the youth, but it's also an investment in our personal future. Because these young folks, they're going to be the firemen, the nurses, the veterans, the teachers, the engineers, the politicians. And in the future, we're really going to have to rely on them. So, investing that extra time like you guys have done, but I'm going to challenge you to go that extra step. And then reflecting on some things, I'm thinking about some of the simplest things you can do to help build a community. Life lessons some of my mentors taught me, they've been ingrained in me. But, say good morning to your neighbors. Something very simple. Say good morning to people you walk past. Don't look down at your iPhone. Say good morning, Frank, Sheila, Mrs. Brody. How often do we spend time walking up and down the street? Even in my office, everyone buried with their face in the iPhone on the elevator bank, at the coffee pot. Just get to know people. It's so invaluable and rewarding. My mother would slap me in the head if I didn't do it, but hold the door open at a store or at school for a stranger. Just hold the door open. Let them pass first. Be courteous. Help the old lady next door carry the groceries up and down the steps into her apartment or out of the back of her car. Shovel the snow from the next door neighbor's driveway. But I still, even when I clean my own driveway, I still hear my father telling me, after you're done with our driveway, go do Al's and then Irene's. They were senior citizens and, they didn't have it. And it wasn't that I did it for $1 or $5. I did those two driveways before I went with my buddies and shoveled for money. And I'm proud that I did it. Make sure your trash gets in the garbage can, or even better, on your street, that you put your trash cans away. Or if you see some trash laying in the street, you pick it up. I mean, I had a mentor, a boss, Bob Lane. we'd walk through the power plant, and if he saw a cigarette butt on the floor, he'd pick it up and throw it in the garbage. And it got to the point after a couple of weeks realizing that he was picking it up and throwing it in the garbage, it got a little contagious because I tried to beat him picking up the cigarette butt and throwing it in the garbage. And still to this day, when I walk around, my plants, the street, the garage, my front lawn, I'm a little OCD. I guess that's part of being an engineer, but I've ingrained it in my personality to do it. You know, play catch with the neighbor kid, the second grader next door. You know, until you have kids, your mom and dad won't appreciate what it is if you get 15 to 20 minutes where she can take care of the baby or wash a dish and the kid's safe and sound. And the last one, really, you know, 3 things. I'm going to go back and make us adults laugh, but the 3 things that you learned when your kids were watching Barney, you know, please, thank you, and you're welcome. I mean, how often do we hear those words every day? We should hear those words hundreds of times a day, and the truth is we really don't. So none of this costs you a dime, but it increases the value of your community. You know, it'll make your community better, the world a better place, and, you know, hopefully continue to make a difference, and hopefully it becomes more and more contagious than this damn COVID infection. So, you know, those are my remarks I'd like to share with you guys. I could talk about intellectual curiosity. You know, I'll challenge everyone. If you hear something, learn something, use these learning opportunities also as an opportunity for intellectual curiosity. You guys helped with the COVID vaccinations. I know you guys did computer assignments and you work with help book the vaccinations, learn about the vaccination software, learn how those processes work. Learn the medical business and the procedures that it took to have this. Those are all life skills that you guys can take on to other places. Yeah, I gotta see, now you gotta forgive me, but the folks who know me well. Have you guys ever been to West Point Military Academy? I would urge anyone to visit West Point Military Academy, especially on a football game. It really gives you a sense of the greatness of this country and stuff. But I'm a big football guy, football fan. My son plays college football. In West Point, right outside the field, there's a monument by General MacArthur, and it says something like, on these fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that on other fields and other days will yield the fruits of victory. Okay, now that's, you know, rather extreme, and we're talking about, you know, war here. But think about it in the same way. On these fields of friendly strife, so volunteering, mentoring, being mentored are fields of friendly strife that in the future will bear you the fruits of victory, meaning that you will build skills and tools that in future years will be invaluable to promoting yourselves, whether it be as educators in the education business or as future professionals and as college students. So hopefully, Frank, I didn't let you down.
Well, Paul, you know, Paul, I got a hat. I'm gonna pass the hat. I'm gonna start here in the youth bureau. You know how we do in church, we collect the offering. So I'm gonna start here, and nobody on this online, don't you all leave without putting something in the hat. But I do want to thank Paul, and I think his words were just heartfelt and passionate. We really have to build community, and we really have to work together to make sure that every person, young and old, no matter what background they come in, as Paul was saying, we are really all in this together. We have to strengthen our relationships, strengthen our partnerships. We have to build and further connectivity amongst each other. So Paul, thank you for those words. And I think for our young people, as you spoke those words, our young people have been engaged in volunteer service. And you're going to hear a little bit about their efforts. Of course, we know about the COVID Angels, but I would want to say this. Last year, when the COVID really kicked in, thanks to the leadership of the mayor, we were distributing over 1,000 bags of food weekly in White Plains for people who were impacted because losing their jobs, food insecurities. We were just distributing bags all over the city of White Plains, and we all came together. And I think that speaks to what you were saying, is that it's community. How do we help each other, our neighbors, to survive and to thrive, and to know that whatever affects one affects the other. So thank you. Thank you, Reverend Paul. We appreciate your words of wisdom. Thank you so very much. This is the part now. Why don't we all give Paul a big hand for those words, because one, a healthy a healthy community means that we're all healthy. Thank you, Paul, so very much. Um, we were talking about the angels, the COVID angels, and how we, and Paul talked about this, saving people's lives. And thanks to the COVID angels, we were able to make appointments, not only in White Plains, but outside of White Plains for people who had challenges getting their appointments. So I'm going to ask Ms. Gina Covington to kind of give an overview of that and then introduce the leader for our COVID Angels program. And Gina, why don't you take the lead and just give people an overview of what happened in White Plains with the COVID Angels program and how it moved the needle, moved the change the narrative for people in White Plains who needed appointments. Gina.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. I'm Gina. I work with Frank and I work with Bhavna, a formidable duo to say the least. So one day Frank says to me, he says, the mayor called. The mayor has a project for us. I said, okay, why are you telling me? And basically, it was the end of February. We were in the throes of dealing with the COVID pandemic and the issues with not being able to gain access for appointments to get vaccinated. The mayor had been receiving calls from constituents in White Plains, from citizens in White Plains, and they were having difficulty. Seniors were having difficulty getting vaccinated and called City Hall for help. City Hall immediately reached out to some of the mayor, some of his resources, the White Plains Youth Bureau, the Department of Park and Recs, and some of the very, there are all of these different groups and agencies that work for the city. And he asked us if we could put together a COVID Angels project like some other cities across the country had been doing to assist our most vulnerable population with being able to schedule appointments and the barriers to doing that, technological barriers to doing all of this online. Luckily, our deputy director, Dr. Bhavna Pawa, along with our executive director, Frank Williams, I sat down with the both of them to kind of figure out how we were going to do this, along with the commissioner and deputy commissioner of the Department of Park and Recs. And one of the ideas that was born from that, Dr. Pawa was saying there is this phenomenal group called SEWA International that does volunteer efforts around the world. They help in disastrous issues, hurricanes, floods, famine, all of these things. And, the pandemic would definitely fall under the auspices of one of these issues. We reached out to the Westchester chapter of SEWA International. They responded immediately. And they immediately put together a board, if you will, of the Westchester chapter of SEWA International. And we started working together to figure out the logistics of what it would take to work with 50, 60, 70, 80, potentially 100 volunteers to hit the ground running with helping the citizens of White Plains figure out how to get appointments and get them vaccinated. I worked with Parag Kilharney. I also worked with Abhilash and Abhilash, I always say it wrong. Abhilash G, who is on this call, and they worked with us to manage all of the volunteers. Without the help of SEWA International, the White Plains COVID Angels Project would have had a very, very difficult time of meeting our goals and being successful in getting as many White Plains residents, as well as some people outside of the city, vaccinated. To this day, we have received 1,020 calls, and we have succeeded in getting 702 people vaccinated from the beginning of March until today. I would like to ask Abalaj if you can unmute and come in and tell us all a little bit more about the depth and intricacies of what SEWA International does and why you were so willing and so able to respond to our request and assist us in such a timely manner.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Bhavna. And thank you everyone for giving SEWA this opportunity. This was one of the, most challenging and most wonderful project that we conducted with your help and with your collaboration. All the, the things that we have learned, they will go a long way. The team we made and, the skills we developed, working together with diverse community and so many different kind of people. There were so many volunteers, Gina, Bhavna, and every one of you get us into connected with. They were really a great team, and it was just a culmination of so many beautiful minds and beautiful hearts and so many dedicated workers who came together selflessly and learned as they were doing things. We had so many challenges, but we overcome everything. Every day we had something, but trust me, this was one of the most valuable experience as a volunteer team that we had. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I want to, thanks, Gina. Paul, I want to follow up because when Gina talks about all of those phone calls and people being up late at night and early in the morning and scouring, I just want you to just react to that, trying to find appointments from the county center to the health department. Any comments about this effort from this group?
Oh, no, I appreciate and understand what a tremendous amount of work it took to get those appointments in the early days and the persistency that it took, on top of the fact, and I'm being a technology, excuse me, some of the systems weren't really as adequate as I would have hoped that they would have been. So it took a lot of fortitude to go back. And I appreciate what Gina's and the folks did, go back and keep looking for those appointments. It's easy to quit. It's easy to quit. And, the tail of the tape is being persistent. And that's in anything in life, is persistency yields value, or it yields return on investment. The harder you push and you keep going. Every journey, starts off with that first step, but yet when you get to the 10 millionth step is where sometimes is where it's make it or break it. So I appreciate the persistency of the team.
Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Dr. Howard. Thank you, SEWA International. And so on behalf of I will say this, we celebrate their work, and we thank NAPA for this honor and recognition and award to these people, their hearts, their hands, taking time from their families to help people who otherwise would have difficulty with technology getting appointments. So we celebrate the COVID Angels here in White Plains and the work they're doing all over the world. And I know that they stand ready to help in times of need and in times of emergency. So we celebrate their efforts. So again, congratulations.
And Frank, can I add one thing? It's Gina. I just want to say that, we basically did a twofold campaign. The first was to reach out and get volunteers to assist us. The second was to reach out to seniors who needed to be vaccinated. And the response from White Plains citizens, we had so many responses that we couldn't take on all of the volunteers who were interested. So we ended up with about 70 volunteers, and those volunteers did work tirelessly night and day. So I just want to say that everybody in White Plains tried to help.
I almost wish I knew about your efforts earlier, because I would have put to work with my wife on my little community effort up here in Northern Westchester.
Well, if something else come up, Paul, we're going to call you. Yeah, be ready. So
I'm here to help.
Thank you. So we're going to do our education presentations, and they have already received their plaques. So I'm going to start with Mr. Martinez. He referred one of his tremendous staff persons to get this award. So I'm going to ask Mr. Martinez to do the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, again, and again, everybody, thank you for tonight. The high school nominated Mr. Michael Chiriello, who has been actually a teacher in White Plains for 20 years, total of 25 years as a teacher. He is one of our really dynamic art teachers. He is teaches drawing, advanced art, AP Studio Art, and what makes Mr. Chiriello really an exceptional person is his ability to connect with our students. And for me, as a principal, one of the top things when I'm looking for teachers is to make sure that they're able to make connections with our students, to build those relationships. And he's just one of those teachers that you can go into his class and it's so inviting. And he has such a warm approach that we just felt that this is someone who really deserved the recognition. So unfortunately, he was not able to join us this evening, but I'm proud to, receive this award on his behalf, and certainly we'll be making sure, Mr. Williams, that we get a picture of Mr. Chiriello with his plaque tomorrow sent to
Could you hold it up a little bit more, Emily? Thank you. Yeah.
So again, I am so thrilled to again have Mr. Chiriello, really well deserving to have this. And I know some of our students here probably have had Mr. Chiriello in his art classes. So again, thank you for the opportunity to accept it on his behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, and please give him our best and our congratulations. We're going to go over to Highlands Middle School, and Mr. Spatterford has two honorees that we're celebrating this evening. So if you could, Ernie, if you could speak to their contribution in the field of STEAM.
Sure. Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for allowing us to do this. Both of our honorees are incredibly generous and incredibly talented, and most importantly, are incredibly supportive of our students. So Mr. Eric Baker is the mathematics instructional specialist at Highlands. He's been instrumental in improving the level of instructional and testing technology, not only within the mathematics department, but also throughout our entire building. Mr. Baker continued the work of Mr. Laporte, our secondary mathematics coordinator, in introducing and supporting mathematics teachers in the use of ClassKick, which is an app which allows teachers to check in on students in real time. His willingness to support and train his colleagues has impacted their ability to give timely support and feedback to all of our students. He's also willing to lend a new hand when any of his colleagues are interested in trying something new. He's helped to foster an innovative culture among his colleagues so teachers can better support and engage students. Eric has also worked to ensure that our students could successfully use their iPads for computer-based mathematics state testing. He's a huge asset to our school community and really is so well deserving of this. So thank you, Eric, and congratulations. So unfortunately, I did not give Eric or Raquel the plaques to hold up tonight. So I apologize for that. It's on me. Our second honoree is Miss Raquel Benitez, who's our English language arts instructional specialist at Highlands. Ms. Benitez has been instrumental in improving the level of instructional technology throughout our school. She continues to offer a variety of trainings individually or in groups to improve our teachers' instructional repertoires. She's always ready to troubleshoot, answer questions, and support her colleagues as they work with new technology and programs. Additionally, Ms. Benitez has dedicated her time and resources to ensure that our staff, especially our new teachers, have all the tools necessary to engage and challenge students, both in person and virtually. It's a common practice for her to create tutorials, videos to support student work. Most recently, she presented a workshop during a faculty meeting to familiarize staff with the use of Apple Classroom to ensure student engagement. She continues to grow with her own technology skill set so she can remain an innovative instructional resource for all in our building. Again, thank you, Raquel, for all that you do, and congratulations.
So now you educators, you're not going to get away. You got to say a few words of, this is like the Oscars in White Plains, you get up on that stage and then you have something to say, and whatever's in your heart, just share it with this community.
Well, Eric, you should probably go first since we started with you.
There we go. Sorry, I'm unmuted. Thank you so much for this recognition. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words, Mr. Spatafor. It's been a challenging year for all of us. Teaching has been no different. We've kind of had to totally change the way that we've instructed in the past to an approach that's been very different than before. But it was a collaborative effort, from the district providing professional development so that we were able to learn some of those technology programs to better serve our students, to the support from our building administrators who have been very understanding through all this and have provided us with resources to better our instruction. The students, the feedback that they've given us, the tech tips that they're constantly sharing with us has been instrumental. And then the teachers and staff, just we've learned so much from each other, and we've grown so much as professionals. And every time somebody learns something new, they turn around and help their colleagues. So it has been, the silver lining in all this is we've grown so much, and we're better for it. We can enhance our instruction moving forward, where I think, before all this happened, it would have taken us years to develop the skills that we now have with technology. I share this recognition with all my colleagues. It was a team effort, and thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric. Ms. Benitez.
There's a lot that Mr. Baker said that I 100% agree with. I mean, we have the most supportive administrators that we could ask for. So we're very lucky to be able to do what we do because we have everything we need in order to do it. So thank you, Mr. Spatafor, and for making that possible for us. I think, like Mr. Baker said, this year really showed us that, and like many of you opened up with, we really don't know what the future holds. And look how much changed in just 1 year. And I watch our students adapt to it so quickly. And almost it's like they don't even miss a beat. They're problem solving, they're figuring it out. They're sending us things in ways they've never done before. And that's just 1 year of change. So I think the most inspiring thing is watching what our students do and how they've handled this challenge. And even on this call right now, I have 2 previous students who I'm so proud and happy to see, because I haven't seen them in a couple of years now. But it just really shows us the caliber of student that we're turning out. And I think it wouldn't be possible without all of these opportunities. So thank you, everybody, and congratulations to everyone.
Well, thank you, Raquel, and thank you, Eric, and congratulations. And we are, as Dr. Rickett would say, if he was here, we're all White Plains proud. So thank you. And also now we have Cecilia Da Salva from Eastview Middle School. I'm not sure if anyone is here from Eastview. But if not, I'm going to ask Ernest, if you could pinch hit and just say a few words on behalf of Dr. Daisy Rodriguez, if you don't mind, about Cecilia. I know she has been in education for 21 years and 9 years over at here at Eastview. So if you can say a few words, that would be great.
Sure. So congratulations, Mr. Silva. Again, technology and instructional technology has played such a huge role the last year or so in actually reaching out to kids. And all of our honorees tonight have managed to maintain connections with students, and in doing that, supporting staff. So Mr. Silva, again, we've never worked together, unfortunately, but I know that Ms. Rodriguez would definitely congratulate you and thank you for all of the work that you've done to ensure that instructional technology at Eastview was able to keep up with the demands of this COVID situation and challenge our students and allow us all, as we've been saying all night, to make connections with students. So congratulations. And I'm going to try and steal you from Eastview now. So we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Ernest. And Ms. Sylvia, if you would like to say a few words, please unmute and we'll ask that you say a few words, and congratulations.
I don't see her, Frank.
Okay, so we accept this award in her absence. We know she's doing great work, and again, we salute and honor her for the good things she's doing to empower and inspire our young people to pursue their dreams. We're going to go on now to our youth awards, and we're going to start with Connie Jones. We have a lot of young people who have been doing good work, and I'm going to ask Connie to say a few words about these young people and to present these awards.
So before Connie speaks, I would just request that all the youth awardees who are here, if you could just unmute yourselves, what'll happen is you will come to the top of the list, and it'll be easier for me to spotlight you as you are receiving your award. So if you could just unmute yourselves, and that would be very helpful.
Okay. Like they said, I'm Connie Jones Hairston. I am the program director for the White Plains Community Youth Court here at the Youth Bureau. I have several members that are honorees tonight, and I'm so proud of them. We have our senior that just graduated this Saturday, Alana Burrows. She states that she has a keen interest in STEAM. She's been very heavily involved during COVID. One of her projects was to develop the UVC light disinfection device, which I happen to have one, which was really cool. She's also made masks, some COVID masks, like 100 to distribute during COVID. She's also helped us with a thank you videos for the first responders at the Kensington Assistant Living. We speak to the residents that didn't have relatives that were able to speak with them during COVID. So Alana have really done an amazing job. She just graduated from Holy Child School of Rye. And she's pursuing her, going to go on to college, pursue a biomedical engineering degree in college. So we're so proud of Alana. Thank you so much for all you do. We're going to let you guys speak as soon as we present. We also have Priya. Priya is a White Plains High School student, and she's been with the Youth Court for the last year. She's also been very, very helpful this year, and she's very wants to pursue a career in STEAM as well. Let me see, I have some notes because she feels that it is STEAM changes the lives of others and in so many different ways. And she wants to be a part of that change in the future by expanding technology for generations to come. She's been a very a volunteer with the White Plains Community Youth Court for the last year. And she's definitely made a difference with helping the youth that come through the youth court. So we really do appreciate all that you've done, and congratulations on this award as well. I'm trying to go by everyone. We have Adia Tawari. She's a youth court member for the last year as well. She's participated in STEAM programs. She's attended conferences at NASA, and she also the robotic competition. She's attended camps related to coding and creating interventions such as affordable water filters that can be used to filter wastewater, and she flourished in this area. And also I just wanted to mention that Adia is a big, huge advocate for climate change. So we definitely have one of our big change makers in the making on here. We appreciate all that you do. We also have Angela Matthews. She is right now a freshman in the University of Buffalo, and she's pursuing her doctorate in pharmaceuticals. So we are very appreciative of that. She's been raising money for In Parish's Places with arts. She's also participated with volunteering to speak with the residents at the Kensington Assistant Living during COVID. She's also participated in the thank you video as well. And she was also a participant with the last New York Power Authority luncheon that we had about 2 years ago and helped create it like one of the bin meals. She actually got the experience. So she's actually pursuing her degree and will continue her efforts in STEM and making a difference in our society as well. And we have 2 more. Sorry, just give me a minute. We have Anahi Polino as well. She said there's no question that STEM has greatly impacted our society and her life as well. She feels that not only has STEM given a rise to new technologies and ideas, but it's shaping the modern world. And as we saw during the COVID, that we had to do Zoom like it was like every week. So they got very familiar with how to Zoom, how the technology, how sometimes the Wi-Fi didn't work. So we are very appreciative for them hanging in there for the last year and putting in all these community service hours and helping the residents of White Plains. And then last but not least, we have Alex Matthews. And Alex is interested in STEM involving courses. Right now, he's doing courses in science and technology. He has participated in various science exhibition labs, computer science classes. He's also attended the Aviation Academy. He's done coding camps as well. And Alex hoped to expand his research in these fields and continue to help the people of White Plains and of our country. So definitely these are youth to be recognized with, and congratulations to all you winners. So if we can give them a few minutes to give a little thank you to the New York Power Authority, I really appreciate it. Starting with Alana.
Before Alana goes, Connie, I'm missing 2 students. One is Justin Noli and Andy Flores, I believe. Do you
Yeah,
see them?
I'm gonna present them, Bhavna.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
I know,
okay.
yeah, Melissa is here and I think Andy is here, but I will speak about them.
Okay. All righty. So Alana, I give you, you got a minute to speak. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Connie, and the Youth Bureau and the Power Authority for recognizing my love for STEM. I've always loved designing and being really hands-on from a young age, and I had the privilege of doing an engineering program at school. So I really love doing different projects. And recently, over this past year, like Ms. Connie said, I worked on developing a UV light phone case to disinfect your phone and different objects around you. So that was really fun for me. And I got to work with the Fuller Center, building houses. And I'm really excited to continue engineering in college and hopefully work on developing prosthetics.
Very good. Thank you. All right. Priya, got 1 minute.
Thank you, Ms. Connie and the Youth Bureau for this award. I greatly appreciate it. I'm also very interested in STEM, and like Ms. Connie said, I think it's a very important part of our society, and I hope to do more things in STEM in the future. Thank you again.
Okay. All right. Adia.
Thank you so much, Ms. Connie, the Youth Bureau, the New York Power Authority. STEM, STEAM, whatever you want to call it, is so important in this day and age. And we youth are the future of it. So I think it's really important for us to join STEM. And I'm truly honored to be present among everyone here. So thank you once again.
Okay. All righty. Alex.
I'd also like to thank everyone and the Youth Bureau and the Youth Fair at the team power thing for giving me the STEM award. I think, as well as Connie said, that I think the STEM is very important because I believe that science is the future, and you need good science if you want human species to survive.
It's okay. He's a little nervous. It's okay. Anahi.
Thank you so much, Connie, the Power Authority, and the Youth Bureau for giving me this award. It is apparent that this past year has been very hard for us, but I'm very lucky to go to White Plains High School, which has given us many programs and given us many classes that have to do with STEM. Same with the Youth Bureau, who have still presented many STEM career presentations, which augmented my interest in STEM. And thank you for the Power Authority for recognizing students for all their hard work. And congratulations to all the other
All right.
honorees.
If you guys can hold up your awards, I appreciate it. You can hold up your awards.
And Marilisa is there too, Connie?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, let me
Marilisa
just-
Capel.
Frank
Yeah,
is-
let me just say a little bit about Marilisa and about Andy and Justin. I don't see Justin, but I want to say that these many of these young people have been with us since 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and they've been in the Youth Bureau for many, many years, and they're like family. And in a year or two, some of them are graduating and going on to college, and others will be leaving. But they have been impacted by the education that they've received in the White Plains School District, but also by the other services that are given by the Youth Bureau, by the WIDE, by other community partners, by El Centro Hispano. And so what we have in White Plains is kind of a wraparound support system. Now, Marilisa is here. I want her to say a few words because she's going on to Penn State. Marilisa, would you just talk a little bit about your experience in the Youth Bureau and also in the White Plains High School, in the school district?
Well, first off, I want to start by saying thank you for this honor. But yes, I have been with the Youth Bureau since 5th grade through the Girls Academy, which I've had so many great experiences with STEM and other aspects of study. It's just been an amazing opportunity to be able to open myself to so many different routes and possibilities. And I hope that everyone gets the same experience as I did. So thank you.
So we want to congratulate all of these young people for their excellence, their persistence, their stick-to-itness, and also for their spirit of can-do. You know, a lot of people, they start and they quit. And science and math can be a challenge, but we know that our country, our community is in good hands with these young people, and we celebrate them this evening, and we give them a big hand of applause.
Frank,
And I just wanted to add that all these young people with the similar backgrounds of a courtroom are there because not only are they excelling in STEM, but they are also participants in our community youth court program at the Youth Bureau. So they have been adjudicating real cases in a real courtroom for this past year and have been doing just an amazing, amazing job and giving back to the community and helping young people, find their right path to a positive future. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna tell you, I'm really excited to hear about some of the work you guys have done and some of the work that you're going to continue to work on. And I'm really thrilled for the futures that you have in store for yourselves. But like Mr. Williams said, getting into a good school is the first step. Getting out of a good school is the next step. So keep grinding, okay? That's one of our mottos here in the Tartaglia household is it's you got to grind.
We forgot, can we just let Angela say a few words? We forgot Angela because she wasn't spotlighted. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I guess somehow I missed her. I really apologize.
Yes, so she is in the University of Buffalo and she's actually doing the doctorate of pharmacy. So we definitely wanted to hear a few words from Angela. So,
well, thank you to Ms. Connie. Thank you to the Youth Bureau and thank you to New York Power Authority for this honor. STEAM has always been a part of my life as well. I loved the STEM luncheon 2 years ago. Hopefully it could be again after COVID. Yeah, I think STEAM incorporates some of the most influential fields that help prolong one's life, and I hope to contribute to that and continue contributing to that. So thank you.
Thank you, Angela. I know that we have Dr. Debbie Hand here, Assistant Superintendent, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask her to say a few words before we close.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. It was wonderful. I couldn't make it for the beginning, but I did make it for most of it. And just your commitment to STEM is so important. As you said, it's innovative and creative and your positive energy, but I am serious what I put in the chat, consider teaching. You say that you want to make an influence and you want to make a difference, you want change. And the best place that you can make that happen is in the classroom and be the most amazing teacher that you possibly can. So I hope that you think of that in some way, shape, or form as you're going out there and you're changing the world. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our teachers. We've gone through a very challenging year, and it has been amazing how we've pulled together and really highlighted, you know, the positivity of technology and how technology can bring us together and really cross those barriers and make it possible for every child to learn, even in a pandemic. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Debbie Hand, and thank you for your leadership and support and for helping to build the futures of our young people. So Paul and Lisa and Alexandria and all of the team, Kyler at New York Power Authority, another year has come and gone, and hopefully this time next year, we'll be back in that Jaguar room where we can see you and celebrate all of the honorees that we will hope to see next year. We want to celebrate our educators and these young people and the COVID angels. Thank you so very much. Paul, any last words or Lisa, any last words that you would like
I just wanted to say that, yes, we will be in the Jaguar room next year. I'm claiming it now. But, you know, what's so heartwarming is many of the faces of the students I remember from past years and other engagements we've had with you. So I'm very excited. This is, even though it was a virtual event, it's still a very exciting event. And we look forward to our partnership with you. Thank you for including us in this.
So Frank, good work to you, Frank, personally. Good work to the team, the educators, the students. You know, you made a joke about passing the hat around. I'm passing the hat around not for donations of money, but I'm passing the hat around for donations of time. Because you can always make money, but you can never make time. So time is the most precious gift that we can give people. And I will forgive you, Frank, for being a Steelers fan. Other than that, everyone have a good night.
We'll talk offline, Paul. We'll talk.
All
Everyone,
right.
have a great evening. Thank you and God bless. Take care now.
Thank you.
Take care and good night.
Bye.
Congratulations, everybody.